I'm waking up to the power of my mind. I'm waking up to me. I'm waking up to the power of my mind, and in this power I'm set free. I'm waking up to the power of my mind. I'm waking up to me. I'm waking up to the power of my mind, and in this power I'm set free. Oh, life can be good. Oh, life can be sweet. Oh, life can be good, and it's all up to me. I'm waking up to the power of my mind. I'm waking up to me. I'm waking up to the power of my mind, and in this power I'm set free. I'm waking up to the power of my mind. I'm waking up to me. I'm waking up to the power of my mind, and in this power I'm set free. Oh, life can be good. Oh, life can be sweet. Oh, life can be good, and it's all up to me. I'm waking up to the power of my mind. I'm waking up to me. I'm waking up to the power of my mind, and in this power I'm set free. And in this power I'm set free. And in this power I'm set free. You're sounding great. Next, today I see myself as beautiful. Today I see myself as beautiful, so beautiful, so beautiful. Today I see myself as beautiful, for I see with the eyes of God. Today I see myself as wonderful, so wonderful, so wonderful. Today I see myself as wonderful, for I see with the eyes of God. Today I see myself as innocent, as innocent, how innocent. Today I see myself as innocent, for I see with the eyes of God. Today I see myself as glorious, so glorious, so glorious. Today I see myself as glorious, for I see with the eyes of God. Today I see myself as powerful, so powerful, so powerful. Today I see myself as powerful, for I see with the eyes of God. For I see with the eyes of God. And don't you know that's how God sees us? As perfect, whole, and complete. Next is this little light. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. I'm gonna take this light around the world. I'm gonna let it shine. Gonna take this light around the world. I'm gonna let it shine. Gonna take this light around the world. I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. I won't let anyone blow it out. I'm gonna let it shine. Don't let anyone blow it out. I'm gonna let it shine. I won't let anyone blow it out. I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let of mine. I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Good, that was my purpose.
That is the purpose of those songs, to wake y'all up.
That's it.
Sunday morning, you've all just crept out of bed and you haven't had an hour's drive to wake you up like I have. So yay, now you're all here, aren't you? Yes, indeed. So we're going to start with the invocation. Actually, I can do it from here because I've got the words. They're the same. You never know. Together with lots of energy. I am now in the presence of pure being and immersed in the Holy Spirit of life, love, and wisdom. I acknowledge thy presence and thy power, O blessed Spirit. In thy divine wisdom, now erase my mortal limitations, and from thy pure substance of love, bring into manifestation my world according to thy perfect law. Yes, Charles, that is what we will do. Announcements today. Welcome. Anybody here for the first time? Any faces I do not recognise? No, you can't. Pardon me? That's their second time. Yes, go on, recognise them. Hey, yeah. Okay, we have prayer pilgrims. Sometimes when I've got my tooth in, on like there. Don't like wearing my tooth. I only wear it on special occasions when I have to take my mask off, so you're all very honoured to see all my teeth. Okay. On the last Sunday of this month, don't know what the date is because I can't do that in my head. Anybody know what the last Sunday is going to be? 27th? 26th, I think, because I think the Saturdays are anyway. No, that's fives. No, 27th's probably right. Anyway, the last Sunday, we're having a birthday party. Your leaders and ministers of various descriptions are going to say a few wise words about how unity has given them comfort, because that's the word for the day. And then, of course, we'll have a party, I'm suspecting. If you need to contact the church, the number is 209. I don't know why we don't put this up here. That would make much more sense. Then people could write it down. Note to self, Jackie. 209-578-5433, because the chances of me getting all those numbers in the right order is next to none. And, of course, you can come in on Tuesdays or Thursdays between 10:30 and 12:30. Bring food for the pantry, bring your tithes, bring your offering, bring your company for Jackie, but make sure she's there first. Because she's not obliged to be there, because she's an independent contractor. So she's not obliged to be there. She comes because she chooses to. That's in case there's anybody here from the IRS. Okay, you can see that I'm in that kind of mood this morning, and wait till we get to Noah. Okay, that's announcements done. Oh, birthdays. February birthdays. I'm standing in for Jim, who was 90 yesterday. And we had a surprise party for him. It was a surprise for him and for me, but it was okay. We had 17 family and 13 people who came and visited and dropped in and dropped out again. Hello, what's going on here? Oh, it's your birthday. Your February birthday. So I thought you'd just come up. Oh, you're a birthday too? Give me a hug. Yes, well, you could do that too. Okie dokie birthdays. Anybody else? Oh, it's so full of my husband's birthday. You got to get in the right order. Fourth? I have to be in here because I'm Jim and I'm the fifth.
Oh, yes.
I'm standing in for Jim.
Okay. Bless his heart. Did he have fun?
Oh, yes.
Oh, good.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, you're wonderful. Happy birthday to you. I'm blessing you now. God is blessing you now. God is blessing you. You're wonderful. God is blessing you now. Yay!
Jim.
Yes, I'll take a hug to Jim.
Happy birthday.
Will do.
He's a little ways ahead of us, you know.
Yeah, he's way ahead of us. Way ahead of us. Okay, we've done those things. Right, daily word. This is where we have to pretend to be serious for a minute or two. Okay, it's February the 6th, and the word for the day is dominion. Claiming dominion, I am calm and confident. I am a powerful spiritual being endowed with dominion, the authority to take command of my thoughts, words, and actions. Even as I work to change my circumstances, I remember I am not constrained by what is happening around me. Claiming dominion, I choose my response in all situations. I live with poise and confidence. I claim dominion over my thoughts and feelings. When I recognize limiting thoughts, I train myself to affirm my spiritual power and freedom. Divine wisdom guides me. I feel the strength of the indwelling Christ presence moment by moment, thought by thought, as I use my dominion to establish a positive, fulfilling direction for my life. And then God said, "Let us make humankind in our image, according to our likeness, and let them have dominion." Genesis 1:26, of which we will hear a little more later. Our affirmation for February: claiming dominion, I am calm and confident. Ready? Claiming dominion, I am calm and confident. Okay, got it. Prayer requests. There's a prayer box looking very much like that, but without the roses, at the back of the church. And if you have a prayer request, you may write it and pop it in there, and we will pray over it for a month, and then it will send it off to Silent Unity for a month, because prayer is the foundation of unity. Silent Unity does a wonderful job. Prayer for 24/7 for, I think it's over 100 years now. It's a long, long, long time. So let's hold those prayers, whatever they may be, and know that whatever they may request, it can be done. Our job is to look for the answer, and it may not be quite what we expected. That's always what's fun with prayer. You never quite know how the answer is going to show up or when it's going to show up, but show up it certainly will. Amen. Okay, prayer service. We'll start with some music. Take my hand and be still for a moment. Father, bless this time we share. Let the Spirit flow in this moment. Fill our hearts with love and care. Take my hand and be still for a moment. Father, bless this time we share. Let the Spirit flow in this moment. Fill our hearts with love and care. As you sit in that peaceful place, sinking into your chair or wherever you are at home, with your feet firmly on the floor, put aside anything in your hand that may be distracting you. Put away anything in your mind that may be distracting you. And it's a Genesis kind of day today. Let there be light is the divine creative command. And we bring our meditation time drawing upon the commanding power that has been and always will be at the heart of our spiritual capacity. God is the author of my inner peace. Breathing consciously, I say to my thoughts and feelings, let there be peace. Let that peace arise from within, permeating my mind and my being. Let me know that God is the source of that peace. Let there be a flow of peace, replacing every anxious, worrisome thought. Centered in love that flows with no limits or conditions, let me cultivate harmonious thoughts that lead me to speak and act in love. Let my every decision be chosen wisely by the harmonizing and unifying power of divine love. So let us take the idea that our thoughts and our feelings are under our control. They don't always feel like that. Remember that they are. And so we breathe deeply and sink into the silence. And let the sound of the singing bowl bring you back to this time and this place. Have a little wriggle. And we're going to do some Bible interpretation. Isn't that fun, hey? That's what I thought when I first went to Unity Village and started learning about how to interpret the Bible. Of course, being brought up as a Catholic, you were not allowed to read the Bible. Not really. It wasn't your job to interpret the Bible. That was done by somebody else who actually knew what it meant. Allegedly. But I didn't worry about that. I learnt my catechism like a good girl, and that was all I worried about. I can't remember very much of it now, I'm pleased to say. But never mind. It's a great comfort to many, many people, and they like to have their world like that, and that's fine for them. But it wasn't fine for me. So today's word is dominion. The thesaurus has got several definitions of dominion. Supreme authority. Oh yes, I'd like to have supreme authority. That would be nice. Having dominion over the natural world. That's where we're going today for a bit. And then there's plural, an order of angels. We're not going there. Capitalized, a self-governing nation, and we're not going there either. We are going to, where is it? Dominion over the natural world. This comes from Genesis, which is where we are today. I've lost the bit of Genesis that it comes from. That's not the right bit. It'll turn up later in this talk. This is a real muddle this morning, as you will notice, because I was busy celebrating a birthday yesterday. So we claim dominion over our thoughts, our words, and our feelings. And we include with dominion a duty of responsibility and care, which when we're thinking about dominion over the natural world raises some eyebrows. Good old Noah took dominion over the animals that God had created, and we'll hear a lot more about that in a minute. He took all the animals on board and apparently looked after them. But it seems that mankind forgot that bit of the story about Noah looking after the animals. And also, they considered man, women, the humankind, got it into their heads that the earth's bounty was an unending source for use and entertainment. And it was this belief of dominion as supreme authority over the natural world that had the buffalo hunted to the brink of extinction. Well, that and plain old ignorance. When you see those piles of bones and little people stood beside it, you think, good grief, that's a lot of buffalo bones. What were they thinking? Well, they weren't thinking, of course. They weren't thinking any more than the poachers who saw off elephants' feet and elephants' tusks and rhino horns. They weren't thinking anything about the future. They were just thinking about what they needed right here and right now. And who knows, who are we to judge? That might be the difference between feeding your family in your village or not feeding your family in your village. The tricky word dominion is now mostly taken care of, means take care of rather than exploiting. So good old Noah was the first conservationist. So I'm going to read you the story of Noah and his ark in my own inimitable manner. And lucky for you, I have no costumes, no masks. I don't even have little bits of coloured paper for you. You've just got my word. So Genesis 6 starts with wickedness in the world. When humans began to increase in number on the earth and daughters were born to them, the sons of God saw that the daughters of humans were beautiful, and they married any of them they chose. You didn't know that, did you? You didn't know that God got married to the daughters of man. This is to set this story a long time ago, because when this story was being talked about and written, they knew that gods didn't marry people. So this sets it a long, long time ago. And then the Lord said, my spirit will not contend with humans forever, for they are mortal. Their days will be 120 years. Oh no, 90, 100, that's 4 more birthdays, Jim. We're not going there. Again, this is just an expression to say that men live for an indeterminate number of times. There's probably better Bible interpreters here, but they'll just have to keep their ideas to themselves, because this is mine. Okay? The Nephilim, you don't know who the Nephilim were, do you? Anybody know?
Yeah.
Yes, you do? Who were the Nephilim? See, I knew there'd be one better than me.
Someone say they were giants.
Mm-hmm. Aha. So again, we're placing this not in the now, today, when this story was written, but another time, indeterminate. Do you know about Nephilim, whatever they are?
They were supposed to be the offspring. Mortals.
Ah, that makes sense. So gods and mortals get together, but they make giants. I'm glad I don't live in the time of giants. This is all to keep it way out of the present time of now and when this story was written. The poor Lord had a hard time with his creation. He saw the wickedness of the human race and had become on earth, and that every inclination of the thoughts of the human heart was only evil all the time. Poor God, he must have been really, really upset with what he'd started, mustn't he? Heaven only knows what he thinks now. The Lord regretted that he had made human beings on earth, and his heart was deeply troubled. I'm sure it still is. So the Lord said, I will wipe from the face of the earth the human race I have created, and with them the animals and the birds and the creatures that move along the ground, for I regret that I have made them. But Noah found favor in the Lord, because Noah was a good guy. And this is the account of Noah and his family. Noah was a righteous man, blameless among the people of his time, and he walked faithfully with God. Noah had 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. Now the earth was corrupt in God's sight and was full of violence. And God saw how corrupt the earth had become, for all the people on earth had corrupted their ways. So God said to Noah, I'm going to put an end to all these people, for the earth is filled with violence. You see, we've got to get the message across here. The earth is filled with violence because of them. That rings a bell. I'm going to destroy both them and the earth. This is not the God we know, is it? No, get that firmly in your mind right now. This is not the God that we know. This is another one a long time ago when there were giants and angels and all kinds of wickedness going on in the earth. So he says this is now God as a designer. There's several places where God is designer. There's another one where he tells them exactly how to build the temple, which sounds exactly like an interior decorator, but this one's an exterior decorator. So God says, make yourself an ark out of cypress wood. That's because it smells nice, and the rest of the ark is not going to smell nice. Make rooms in it, coat it with pitch inside and out, and this is how you are to build it. See, very specific. The ark is to be 300 cubits long. This is a cubit. That's a big boat. 50 cubits wide, that's a huge boat, and 50 wide and 30 cubits high. We're talking an enormous boat here. Make a roof for it, because it's going to, leaving below the roof an opening of 1 cubit high. This is so the giraffes can put their head out. Okay? God thinks of everything. Put a door in the side of the ark and make lower, middle, and upper decks. God doesn't say who gets to go at the top and who gets to go at the bottom. I'll leave that to your imagination. I'm going to bring flood waters on the earth, I've lost my place, to destroy all life under the heavens, every creature, breath of life, everything on earth will perish. Is that clear, Noah? Have you got the message? There will be nothing left. But I will establish my covenant with you, and you will enter the ark, you and your sons, your wife, and your sons' wives with you. Mm-hmm. You are to bring into the ark 2 of all living creatures, male and female, to keep them alive with you. 2 of every kind of bird, of every kind of animal, and every kind of creature that moves along the ground will come to you and be kept alive. This is how you know this is a story. Animals like elephants and rhinoceroses and lions and tigers and even small creepy things do not just come to you. Dogs come to you. That's about it. I can't think of anything else. Horses occasionally. You are to take every kind of food that is to be eaten, oh good grief, and store it away as food for you and for them. And Noah did just as God commanded him. Well done, Noah. Okay, so when we look at the interpretation, which I've got somewhere here because I can't remember it all because I'm not that clever. Noah's father was called Lamech. I can remember some of it. Noah's father was called Lamech, which means strong young man. And Noah's word means rest. So we've got a combination of young, strong, and then we've got resting. And then we've already heard that Noah is going to live to a very, very long age. Here we go. I knew I had it here. Okay. So if we think of our strength of our youth, and we idealize matter, and we kind of forget about the spiritual world, I'm sure all of us had some kind of misspent youth. That's really what this is about. This isn't, we've all done wrong things when we were young, and then we've gone, duh, that was stupid, wasn't it? And the law of reaction sets in, and you realise that you've done something stupid or something dangerous, and you think, perhaps I won't do that again. Noah, of course, he didn't have this misspent youth. That was his father did that. He learned from his father, and that's how come he was looking so good in the eyes of God. That's my version anyway. The law of retraction sets in, and Noah signifies the beginning of a new state of consciousness, a realization that you can't go on like this, it's going to kill you, so you better just change your ways. Noah is at rest with God. His sons represent the spiritual, Shem, the physical, Ham, and the intellect or reason, which is Japheth. And when all the faculties of mind have been used in the wrong relationships, destructive processes set in. So you have to get them all back on board and realign them until they sort themselves out. The flood is symbolic of a baptism of a renewing spirit, refreshing the mind and reorganizing the balance between the physical, the spiritual, and the intellect. All those animals that come into the ark, those are all your wild ideas that are floating around and making chaos in your life. So you bring them all into this nice place, this ark, and they all settle down peacefully and rest. It's like having a retreat. You've got everything you need inside the ark. You're out of the weather. You've got food. You've got all your thoughts and ideas racing around, but they're beginning to calm down. And you can take a breath and you can rest. Laying hold of the spiritual as the only reality, you can be shut in the ark, safe and sound. The whole earth is filled with potential ideas just waiting to be brought forth once the waters go down. When we let go of that false sense of understanding, the power and all the good sense, we can rest like Noah. So meanwhile, back at the Bible version, God remembered Noah and all the wild animals, otherwise known as ideas, and the livestock that were with him in the ark, and he sent a wind over the earth and the waters receded. Hoorah! Now the springs of the deep and the floodgates of the heavens had been closed, and the rain stopped falling from the sky. The water receded steadily from the earth, and at the end of 150 days, the water had gone down. And on the 17th day, it gets very specific here, we'll cut over this, lots of days and months, the tops of the mountains became visible. After 40 days, we don't quite know when this 40 days began in among the 150, but never mind. After 40 days, Noah opened a window he'd made in the ark, because he'd been told to make a window, remember? And sent out a raven, and it kept flying backwards and forwards and backwards and forwards. It couldn't find anywhere to land. A bit later, he sent out a dove, but the dove had the same problem, kept coming back. Nope, got to stay here, in the ark, in the safety. But finally, he set the dove out, and it came back with an olive branch. Now, we are supposed to believe that the water went down and all the trees were fine, and there was a nice olive branch with leaves on. We know that's not going to be true, because after it's all been, you've seen after the floods they've had all over America, the trees die in all that flood. Never mind. Never mind. Then Noah knew that the water had receded from the earth, and he waited 7 more days, and then off they all went. Okay, where are we going to go? This is all very tedious in here. And God said to Noah, "Come out of the ark, you and your wife and your sons and their wives, and bring out," here we go again, "every kind of living creature that is with you, the birds and the animals and the creatures that move along the ground, so that they can multiply on the earth and be fruitful and increase the number on it." This is version 1. There's another version, which was written by somebody else, obviously, because they have a whole different way of putting the animals in the ark. Let me see if I can find that. Here we go, version 2. This is what this version says. "Take with you 7 pairs of every clean animal, and a male and its mate, and 1 pair of every unclean animal." Now, where does clean and unclean come from? Yes. So we know that this bit was written by the Levites and the priests and all this lot. They thought, this is a very good story, but we need to just get this bit in about clean and unclean animals. So that's probably what's going on here. Other than that, it's much the same, but the very thought of 7 pairs, I think 1 of each is quite enough in that ark, don't you? You know me, I'm ever practical. You know what I'm thinking about clearing up, don't you? Yes, we won't go there either. So Noah came out together with his sons and his wives and his sons' wives and all the animals and the creatures. And God said, "This is the sign of the covenant that I am making between me and you and every living creature with you, a covenant for all generations to come." Because you see, you're telling this story to little people and they get worried. They still get worried if you tell them the story of Noah and the ark because they think that flood could come again, especially if you're in England and it rains all the time. You have to reassure them that this is a story and it is not going to happen again, okay? And to make sure it doesn't happen again, there's the rainbow. Whenever I bring clouds over the earth and a rainbow appears in the sky, I will remember my covenant between me and you. This is God and Noah and all the rest of the people and all the living creatures of every kind. And never again will a flood come to destroy all life. See, it doesn't say there will never be a flood. There will be floods, but it won't destroy everything like this time. And that is pretty much the end. It goes on for another but it's all more of the same. So now we're going to have a quick song. We've been looking forward to I've been looking forward to this song, let's be fair. When I taught Muslim children, they're not terribly keen on singing. It's not in their culture, it's not something that they do. But of course, it's a great way to teach them language. So they used to have to sing, but they actually did like this because, of course, Noah and his ark is in the Quran as well, so that meant it was all right to sing it. Okay, you ready?
You will love this.
You'll
too.
love this.
You can join in the chorus.
Join in very quickly.
Who built the ark? Noah, Noah. Who built the ark? Father Noah built the ark. Now in came the animals 2 by 2, the hippopotamus and the kangaroo. Who built the ark? Noah, Noah. Who built the ark? Father Noah built the ark. Now in came the animals 4 by 4, 2 through the window and 2 through the door. Who built the ark? Noah, Noah. Who built the ark? Father Noah built the ark. Now in came the animals 6 by 6, the elephants laughed at the monkeys' tricks. Who built the ark? Noah, Noah. Who built the ark? Father Noah built the ark. Now in came the animals 8 by 8, some were on time and some were late. Who built the ark? Noah, Noah. Who built the ark? Father Noah built the ark. Now in came the animals 10 by 10, 5 black roosters and 5 white hens. Who built the ark? Noah, Noah. Who built the ark? Father Noah built the ark. Now Noah said, go shut that door. The rain started falling and we can't take more. Who built the ark? Noah, Noah. Who built the ark? Father Noah built the ark. Who built the ark? Noah, Noah. Who built the ark? Father Noah built the ark.
Thank you, Matt. Thank you. Margaret, thank you. Senior moment.
We'll have flashcards.
Yes, flashcards with your names on them. Dear. It's such fun getting old. Okay. Right, well, that's good. That took me longer than I thought it was going to take. I thought you were going to be out here for 10:30, the rate I was going. Okay, what do we do now? Oh, yes, first of the month. We love the first of the month. Because that's when all the good comes back to us. It comes back to us the second and the third, and sometimes big one on the fourth, but the first of the month is always good. Okay, I'm getting too excited. Okay, take your love offerings in your hand, and we say, Divine love, through me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive, and I and we are grateful.
What is mine to give? What is mine to do? All I want is to share myself with you. So I stand here asking, what can I do? What is mine to give? I give it to you. What is mine to give? What is mine to do? All I want is to share myself with you. So I stand here asking, what can I do? What is mine to give? I give it to you.
Dear sweet Spirit, here are the gifts given in love, and that love transforms these gifts, and they go out and they do the will and the work. They encourage everyone to see God as a loving spirit and to know that spirit is within each one of us. So it is. Thank you, God.
Thank you, God.
Amen.
Amen. And now we're going to close the service with the peace song, followed by the prayer for protection. Let there be peace on earth, I know it begins with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that is meant to be. With God as creator, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begins with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let here be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
And we will go out knowing that the light of God surrounds us, the love of God enfolds us, the power of God protects us, and the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Have a happy, wonderful week. Okay, before you all disappear, we just have to tell you a little bit of sad news, because this will be Margaret's last day for a little while, or maybe a long while. We're not quite sure, and neither she, how long it will have to be. But we love her, and we appreciate her, and we bless her on her way to whatever is coming next. And we will look forward to whatever is coming next our way as well, because that's how it works. So thank you so much, Margaret, for all that you have done for this church and all that you will do in the future, she said, making sure we cover all options. And we love you and we bless you and we appreciate you and we will miss you dreadfully. But we know that these things happen, whatever these things may be. Okay, will that do?
That will
Not
do.
going to cry?
Not going to cry.
Good girl.
Thank you.
Okay, but we couldn't let you go without saying something. Okie dokie. Good. Okay, now we go have coffee.